Go ahead and get started. Today is April 29th, 2026. We're in the fourth floor boardroom of Central High School of the Mississippi Department of Education in Jackson, Mississippi. It is 10:04 a.m. I would like to remind everybody that to please silence your cell phones, as well as that this board meeting is being live streamed. I see we have Mr. Mayo, you are by phone. If you would please announce your location for us.
I am in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will start our meeting with the national anthem, which is this month is brought by the Starkville High School Singers from the anyway, the choir is led by Jennifer Davis as the choral director, Dr. Watrous Harris is the principal, and Dr. Tony McGee is the superintendent. Would everybody please stand?
Please join in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to come together. Please help us with the decisions that we make today. To make them in the best interest of the children of the state of Mississippi. Additionally, please be with all our students, especially those in high school about to graduate and we're in prom season as well. Please keep everyone safe. In Jesus' name I pray. All right, our first item is to approve the minutes from the March 19th, 2026 board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. McGee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Werner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Are there any items that we need to delete or add to our agenda? Okay, are there any items from the consent agenda that anyone would like to move to the regular agenda? Okay, very good. Then, do I have a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. East and Mr. Oh my gosh, Bill. My brain is a step slow today. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. At this point, we have our monthly recognition ceremony. Ms. Cook.
Good morning, Mr. Miller, Dr. Evans, and state board members. It is my honor to present to you the board recognitions for the month of April. And today we are honoring 3 JROTC achievements, 1 outstanding cadet, and 2 Army JROTC programs that have earned the highest national distinction for excellence. First, we are recognizing Cadet Major Quentin Hart, a senior at Northwest Rankin High School in the Rankin County School District, for earning the Legion of Valor Bronze Cross for Achievement. Cadet Hart, please join Mr. Miller and Dr. Evans at the front of the boardroom. The Legion of Valor Award is one of the highest honors that can be awarded to JRTC cadets in the United States. It is presented by the Legion of Valor of the United States of America, which is an organization made up of recipients of the Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, Navy Cross, and Air Force Cross. This award recognizes outstanding achievement in academics and leadership among JRTC cadets nationwide. Only about 25 cadets are selected each year for this honor out of more than 300,000 Army JRTC cadets. Cadet Hart currently serves as the Battalion Executive Officer in Northwest Rankin's Army JRTC program. Throughout his JRTC tenure, he has served in several key leadership positions, including squad leader, company first sergeant, and battalion personnel officer. Beyond JRTC, Cadet Hart is an Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America and participates in Ultimate Frisbee and cross-country teams. He is deeply committed to community service, volunteering regularly with organizations such as Stewpot, the Salvation Army, Iona House, God's Haven, and others. His awards and achievements include the Veterans of Foreign Wars Medal, the National Sojourners Medal, the Community Service Award, the Superior Cadet Award, and the Raiders Qualifications Badge. Following graduation, Cadet Hart has accepted an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy, where he plans to, your grandfather told me, to study aerospace engineering. So Cadet Hart, you are welcome to make remarks at this time and recognize anyone who's here supporting you today.
Thank you. Well, I'd really like to thank everyone for allowing me to be here and for this recognition, and especially my family for their support, and Major Burns for allowing me to represent my school to compete for this award. And I'm excited to see who's the next one to come from my school. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we are recognizing two Mississippi Army JRTC programs that have each earned the Army JRTC Honor Unit with Distinction. So I would like to invite both schools' representatives to join Mr. Miller and Dr. Evans at the front of the boardroom. We have Sergeant First Class Arturo de la Garza and his cadets. He's the Army JRTC instructor at Lawrence County High School in the Lawrence County School District. So please come up to the front of the room. Lawrence County, okay? And I'd also like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Francisco, who's a senior Army instructor at Velma Jackson High School in the Madison County School District, and her cadets, and I think principal and superintendent are here. Please, all of whoever you'd like, come on up. So we have cadet spokespeople for each school representing the groups behind me here. So. The Honor Unit with Distinction is the highest level of recognition awarded by the U.S. Army Cadet Command through the JRTC Program of Accreditation. To earn this designation, a program must score 95% or higher on the rigorous accreditation evaluation that is conducted every 3 years. The evaluation includes cadet drilling, color guard performance, a battalion staff continuous improvement project briefing, a service learning project briefing, and interviews with both cadets and instructors. Nationwide, the Honor Unit with Distinction is earned by fewer than 10% of more than 1,700 Army JRTC programs in the country. Lawrence County High School has earned an overall accreditation score of 98.5%, placing it among the highest performing programs in the country. This recognition marks a significant milestone for the program, which has undergone a period of rebuilding in recent years. So achieving Honor Unit with Distinction status reestablishes the program's excellence and sets a strong foundation for continued success. And Velma Jackson High School earned the Honor Unit with Distinction in February 2018 and has maintained it since then. This is a testament to the leadership, discipline, and commitment of the school's cadets and instructors. So now we will hear remarks from program representatives, and first we will hear from Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Erica Gordon from Lawrence County.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for the recognition, for the honor. Our battalion, we worked hard to get where we are in our battalion. We put in a lot of discipline, leadership, hard work, teamwork, and it could not be possible without being led by our instructors and the support of people like my mama who are here today. So thank you for your support, and I just want to say thank you.
And next we'll hear from Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Morgan Thompson from Velma Jackson.
Good morning, you guys. My name is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Morgan Thompson. I'm
Oh, Francisco.
We are honored to be here today. We received 97% on our inspection, and we are beyond grateful to be recognized today. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Barrett, if you have joined us, if you would please give us your location.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
Thank you. All right, next up is the report from the State Superintendent, Dr. Evans.
All right, sorry, let me get myself together. Excuse me. Okay, let's give that group of young cadets another round of applause. That's an outstanding program, ROTC. Huge in our state, and we appreciate it so much. Just a couple of updates here. First, going back to the legislative session, we did have a very successful 2026 legislative session. Thank you to all the people in the agency. For sure, Ms. Holly Spivey, who's somewhere hating that I'm saying her name out loud right now. So I appreciate what she does tremendously. I tell her all the time, it takes a special person to go through all the stuff you go through to do what you do. So I tremendously appreciate her. Some of the notable things that we continue to get funding for, we're very, very excited about, was obviously the teacher pay raise, the continued funding for MTR, which is Mississippi Teacher in Residency. This is the second year that the state has funded it. Previously, it was funded through another funding source. Additional investments into early childhood programming, early literacy, as well as the continuation of the funding of the Mississippi REACH program, which we expect those numbers to increase tremendously this upcoming school year, adding ROTC just walked out, CTE classes to that, as well as some financial literacy. We're really expanding the opportunities for districts and being very nimble with what they need. But something else that we're really excited about was we did, and we're very grateful for, is the legislature funding our adolescent literacy initiative. They did that at a total amount of $9 million in this initial year, as well as the funding of our Mississippi Math Act, which was $3.5 million. So we've got a lot of work in front of us. I had one of our ed chairs call me one morning, and he said, I woke up at 3 this morning and was worried about how much we were putting on y'all for this upcoming year. He said, are you sure you're going to be able to pull it off? And I said, well, we asked for it, so we have no choice but to pull it off. So we're excited that they have that. To me, that shows that our lawmakers have faith in us as a state agency, as well as tremendous faith in public education. We're just lucky at this agency to have the opportunity to implement this work because, obviously we work on relationships, and we appreciate our districts for being outstanding partners. But in the end, policy doesn't do it. It takes policy, it takes money, but the teachers in the classrooms are the ones that put all this into play. Can never forget that. Never, never, never forget that. When the door shuts, they're the ones in the trenches that are making all of it work. And we appreciate their work tremendously. We had some advisory council meetings. It was the final meetings of the year. We had our final student advisory council meeting. It's always great at the end of every year because they're put into groups, and they have research projects that they present their research. The topics, and it always amazes me how, one, they can coordinate that many students all across the state to get this put together. But some of the topics were teacher shortage, school safety, cell phone policies, mental health policies, artificial intelligence, student attendance. And again, if you can't tell, we were very impressed by their presentations. We also had our final teacher advisory council meetings of the year. They took place in Oxford, Clinton, and Hattiesburg. They were very productive. We gave them updates, answered any questions that they have. I think that's a great way that we get the information to the classroom level. I know superintendents and principals bring it back and disseminate it, but it's different lots of times when the teachers themselves hear it and then they go pass that information along to their peers. And we appreciate them being willing to participate, because we know that is an effort on their part to be there. Accountability. We have raised accountability standards, obviously. In combination with that, we've gone on a awareness campaign across the entire state, talking to school board members and superintendents and business and industry leaders, community leaders, to make sure that they understand what the impact of this looks like, what is appropriate to compare and what is not appropriate to compare when you're looking at 25 to 26. And Ms. Jean Cook and her team, the communications department, put together an accountability communication toolkit to help families, community members, and the media understand the changes to the accountability system that we've made over the past couple of months. It's key. I've seen a lot of districts use that, and it's great, because the thing is if we're all speaking the same language and we're all providing that same information, which is completely accurate, completely vetted, we control the narrative, and it helps our state stay on one accord, because we all are giving everyone the same information. And that's we've even in that toolkit, our communications department even outlined what you should be focusing on. I want to say this publicly for the 10,000th time: you should not compare the 2025 accountability ratings to the 2026 accountability ratings. Should not happen. You should compare growth and proficiency, because those numbers, they didn't change, right? We know this. Progress of ESL students, all of these other things that we can look at to compare, but let's just not compare those accountability grades. I know that's hard to hear in a state that lives and dies by it. We know this, but this is not the year to do that. That information has been emailed out to all districts across the entire state, but it's also right there on the front of our webpage, so anybody can access it if they would like. And it comes even with a video explaining it. It is right there, ready-made for people to take advantage of. Had a couple speaking engagements. Spoke at the Kiwanis Club in Gulfport. It was a great opportunity. I appreciated having the opportunity to talk about really the legislative session and the math work that we're doing, literacy work that we're doing, the increasing of accountability standards. Everything I just said about accountability, I said to them. Mr. Pruitt helped set that up. I appreciate him doing that. Also had a meeting with the U.S. Department of Education. Myself and two members of our team attended that, and it was all focused around flexibility and assessment. Some of the topics, it was flexibility and also what I would describe as new ways of looking at assessment. Some of the topics involved AI in assessment, what that looks like, as far as different types of accountability systems from around the country. So it was very beneficial. I didn't really know how many people would be there, and I will tell you, it was a very good thing we attended, because the room was packed. I think they said 48 states were represented there, so it was very much so worthwhile. It's a headache to get there, but it was worth it when we got there. Also had CCSSO had their leadership conference. We attended that. Secretary McMahon, obviously she spoke, as well as many other federal officials were speakers during that time. Also was invited during that time to attend the ASU GSV Summit. It was a great opportunity. We spoke on a panel The title of this panel was Southern Surge 2.0 From Literacy Miracle to Movement. And it was myself as well as the head chief from Tennessee, as well and previous chief from Louisiana. So it was a great opportunity. It was about an hour and a half long. The room was full of people. I think it was a really good opportunity. I will tell you, I say this all the time, all too often, you know, in our districts, in our agency, we have our nose to the grindstone. We're pushing, and you don't stop, like take a breath and look up to see the progress that you made because you're so driven by getting to the next level. It almost become a tad embarrassing at times how much people said Mississippi at this. And this, it was a different type convening because it was a bunch of ed tech that was there, a bunch of funders, if you will, for different initiatives across the country. It was a great opportunity to meet a lot of people, but there was legitimately 8,000 people there. You know, lots of times people will say the conference has 8,000 people, but there's really like 4,500. No, it was legitimately 8,000 people. And it was a great opportunity. I really appreciated that opportunity to do that. And so previous Secretaries of Education, Margaret Spellings and Arnie Duncan, were there as well. They invited myself, representing Mississippi, to a private dinner to talk to them about what we've done, as well as several other policymakers and people that are interested in the work that's happening in our state, the expansion of the work that's happening in our state. And every time either one of those two previous secretaries got in front of a group of people, they touted Mississippi. So it was good. Yeah, it was a win for us. And one of the last things we did just last week, I believe, the last Friday, announced our Mississippi Administrator and Teachers of the Year. It was a great day, great crowd. It's always wonderful, you know, when you narrow it down to three, and the people when they win it, how they truly are so surprised and appreciative when they win it. It kind of is one of those things that kind of warms your heart, you know, when you see people that are so happy about that. So we are very excited. Dr. Fulton won that, the Administrator of the Year, and Lauren Zirandana won the Teacher of the Year. So that was an outstanding event. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, for my report this month, I have the very good opportunity to recognize our Senior Representative Crosby Parker. Crosby has been with us for 2 years, and this is his last meeting. This is the end of his term. So let me read our resolution for you. Whereas the Mississippi State Board of Education selected Crosby Parker through a competitive process to serve as a student representative to the board, fulfilling a 2-year term from June 2024 through April 2026. And whereas Mr. Parker is a student at Gulfport High School in the Gulfport School District and has demonstrated exceptional academic excellence with a class rank of #1 out of 405, achieving a 36 composite ACT, maintaining a 4.534 grade point average, and earning recognition as a National Merit Scholar. And whereas Mr. Parker has exemplified leadership and dedication through extensive involvement in school, community, and state organizations, including service as president of the Youth Legislator Model United Nations, historian of the Student Council, Boys State Lieutenant Governor, and ambassador for Gulfport High School, as well as membership in the National Honor Society. And whereas Mr. Parker has displayed outstanding commitment to athletics and teamwork, serving as captain of the Gulfport High School varsity cross-country team and varsity golf team, and competing in track and field, consistently modeling discipline, perseverance, and sportsmanship. And whereas Mr. Parker has demonstrated a deep commitment to service and civic engagement by creating and leading a robotics summer camp, establishing a youth mentoring program, participating in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and serving as youth leader, council representative for Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi. And whereas throughout his tenure as student representative to the Mississippi State Board of Education, Mr. Parker has represented the voice of Mississippi students with integrity, insight, and professionalism, contributing meaningfully to the discussions impacting public education across the state. And whereas Mr. Parker's character, work ethic, and leadership are a credit to himself, his family, Gulfport High School, the Mississippi State Board of Education, and the state of Mississippi. Therefore, be it resolved that on the 29th day of April, 2026, the Mississippi State Board of Education recognizes Crosby Parker for his exemplary service as student representative to the board and expresses sincere appreciation for his commitment to student advocacy and educational excellence, wishing him continued success in his academic pursuits, leadership endeavors, and future contributions to his community, state, and nation.
Mr. Reese, you may want to work out some type of deal to get him back for a 5th year, it sounds like.
I'm afraid he's going to Boston and Harvard, so we'll,
And there can be no better segue than into Crosby's final report as the senior student representative.
Thank you all so much. I couldn't get my iPad to work this morning, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm just so grateful to have been here for the last 2 years. This is all of the things that I've been a part of in the public school system, of all the things that I'm participating in back home. This and my mentorship program are the two, and they kind of go hand in hand. They are the most fulfilling thing that I've been able to do in high school. It is what's pushed me to, it's pushed me so far outside my comfort zone. I remember my first time coming into this, the interview was all adrenaline, but like the first board meeting I was so nervous, and I feel that this position I've been able to grow in my speaking ability, just in my confidence in professional settings, and really in the confidence that I have something to contribute and that I have something that I can help to make an impact. And this position has allowed me to do that in situations that I would never have been able to do otherwise. Like for the Student Advisory Council, I remember when I got to lead the mentorship subgroup, and each one of the students would go back to their schools and they were making their mentorship programs and I was working on mine. And it was without this position on the board and without groups like that here at MDE, impact like that, it wouldn't be possible for a student like me. And so it's been just an absolute honor to be able to be a part of that. For my last report, I was asked to give feedback on the position, on how maybe it can grow in the future. And I think that this position, if you're encouraged to do some sort of a community service project to go with the position, for me, I felt that it has given my term purpose, where I've always made sure that this is what I want to leave behind. This is what I want to focus on. And so I'm very excited for whoever's going to be the next junior representative. I know they're going to enjoy it a lot, and my advice to them would be pick an issue that you feel that you can make an impact on, that you can make a difference on, really commit to it, and just keep bringing that, because people will notice after a couple times, they'll be like, well, he's serious about what he's saying. This is important to him, and maybe we can do something back at our schools. And on that note, I brought this today. This is the culmination of the last 2 years of mentorship. So this has got, this is a general kind of universal guide to if there are any school districts that want to start their own mentorship program. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I'm going to leave this here with somebody. And they can, if someone was to reach out, then I have left something at MDE for future programs. This has a program overview, mentor selection criteria and processes, and then a curriculum. And that curriculum can be tailored to whatever's needed. If it's more of an academic mentorship program, then that's fine. You can there's placeholders for that where you can input. And if it's more of a kind of a youth outreach, then that is like the one I have back home, then that is also fine as well. So this is, I hope to leave this here with somebody. I need to find out who, but this will be here.
I'll take it.
Perfect, all right.
Everybody's going, don't give it to him, but I promise you.
Excellent. So this has been incredible. this position it has just led to so much. And I'm going to miss it a lot next year. And just thank you all for all of the support that y'all have given me. And I can't wait to see what happens with that. And I can't wait to see who the next one is. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Crosby. Okay, next we'll hear from Michelle, who's giving her last junior report, and she'll move across the table next year to be our senior representative. Michelle?
Well, I didn't know that this would be Crosby's last one. So my report today, I was just going to talk about what Dr. Evans talked about with the Student Advisory Council because we had the last one in April. So I was able to lead my group on the topic of AI in education, and so we discussed like the benefits of using it, and then the growing use and concerns of AI in the education system. And so one of the members of our group actually interviewed her teachers, and she brought some valuable educator perspective into our discussion. And so each person really contributed by working on like presenting a slide that they were genuinely interested in, and also giving their own perspectives on things. So I just want to say that like that experience and being part of a group like that through the Student Advisory Council is especially meaningful because we were able to connect with students across the state and also research and discuss topics that we were interested in. And so while the Student Advisory Council is built around, like talking about an issue in education, I think that it also gave all of us a chance to develop important real-world leadership skills, because since all of our group members are from different parts of Mississippi, we had to rely on virtual meetings and virtual meetings to schedule times to collaborate and prepare for the presentation. And so coordinating these meetings were one of our biggest challenges. I mean, everyone had different schedules with schoolwork and extracurricular activities. And so it was really difficult to find a time when everyone was available. And so even when we did manage to schedule a meeting, a lot of the times plans would change last minute and then we had to cancel them. So because of these challenges, we became more intentional about how we managed our times. Like we would set clear deadlines on, and then also like coordinate each person with a slide. And so we would say that you have to get the slide done by a specific amount of time, and then we could meet once before we came to this Student Advisory Council meeting. And so flexibility became really important, and if someone was unable to complete their portion of the slides on time, then someone else would step in. And so I think that through this process, the Student Advisory Council meeting not only let us just like learn more about educational issues in Mississippi, but also learn how to participate in a group effort. And each person's contribution mattered, and so the success of our presentation really depended on everyone contributing and doing their part. And at the same time, we also realized that real-world collaboration isn't always perfect. Sometimes some people are going to miss the deadline, and sometimes another person is going to have to step in. But overall, these experiences have taught us how to communicate more effectively and solve problems as a team. So I just want to say that the Student Advisory Council meeting has truly been an important impact to all of the students who participate in it, not only giving them the opportunity to research and connect with teachers to gain teachers' perspective on issues, but also to just collaborate with each other and know how to manage their time.
Thank you. Next, we have several reports on subcommittees that have met in the last month. Mr. Mayo, you can go first.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. We, again, IA subcommittee met. First thing we really, item of business, we had 33 total applicants for the new junior student representative. And we, through the polling and through the assessment, we narrowed that down to 11 candidates who we selected to advance. The goal was 10, there's 11 because there was basically a tie for the last spot. And so we wanted to make sure we get everybody that opportunity. Super impressive across the board, all 33 students, a lot of districts represented. I wish we had every district represented, but it was really impressive what these kids have done. So we are conducting the in-person interviews next week on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll narrow it down to the finalists that we'll present the following month. Other business was we received back the Attorney General opinion we had sought And as a result of that, we've updated the pieces of the IA charter that it affected. And we will, in committee, we address that and pass that, and it's on the board agenda today, as well as there's a turnabout section to several board policies that also will be updated. They're also on the agenda today as well. But it was, again, the move ball forward span has been able to help us tremendously in getting this piece done around the updating of the internal audit standards and charter, and very much appreciate what she's done, and then we'll continue to work on our other activities from here on.
Thank you. The next committee was the legislative subcommittee, and I believe because of the meeting move, we met twice since the last meeting. Once right before the session closed, and then once afterward. And in both, Ms. Spivey gave us a great recap on everything that was advancing, as well as what actually made it across the finish line. Holly, you can tell me if I'm incorrect, if I speak out of turn, but I think the majority of things that the board and the department wanted advanced were advanced. The funding that was asked for was received, and it puts us in position with several of these initiatives, including the math initiative, to move these forward. So I will echo what Dr. Evans said. Thank you, Holly, for all your work in wrangling people and keeping conversations moving, because I think that was an important part of us accomplishing those goals in the legislature. Do you have my report? Okay.
I don't have my minutes, I forgot them. So
Okay.
you can do it.
Well, all right, the last subcommittee that met was the State School Subcommittee, which is a new one that has been created that governs the district's transformation, as well as our regular state, the 3 regular state schools. Mr. Pruitt, myself, and Mr. Jacobs, we continue talking about our processes, and the 2 main things that we are moving forward and getting close to finalizing are the oversight that the board has over this, as well as the evaluation process for the superintendents of each of these. Dr. Marshall and Wendy Clemens are doing a great job putting these things together for us and helping, as well as Mr. Farrell. And I think the plan is by next year we will start hearing from each of these superintendents on a regular basis, at least once a year, maybe once each semester. So, but that process is still moving forward, and I appreciate it, all those folks within MDE that are helping out, as well as the folks with our state schools and the superintendents. Y'all have been very receptive to this process, and we look forward to hearing from y'all going forward. All right. Now, the first agenda item, we have to bring up procedure. I'm going to read this so I don't screw up the procedure. As it relates to old business, at a prior meeting, we had tabled the topic of the internal audit charter. We now have the response to the AG opinion, as Mr. Mayo mentioned. Now we are now able to discuss this and consider the charter. So therefore, we need to lift this item off of the table and then put it back on the board agenda to discuss. So do I have a motion to lift this item off the table and up for consideration?
So moved.
First, thank both of y'all. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now that it's back on the table, Sam? Yes, yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I know that seems like it has taken a long time to kind of update this, but thanks to everybody's work, what we have been able to do is update and modernize and accept the new international internal audit standards into our charter, incorporate those things into our charter, and also contemplate, and I think very successfully, how to ensure moving forward that not only does our internal audit activities meet these new standards, but also in the future, when all of us are gone, we have a solid foundation for whoever comes behind us. And I think that's been fairly successfully achieved in the new charter.
Does anyone have any questions for Sam?
I just have some comments, if I can.
Sure.
Of course, I've been on the Educational Accountability and Internal Audit Subcommittee for 5 years, 2 of which I was the chairman of it. We did meet a few weeks ago, as mentioned. It wasn't mentioned, I voted against passing the charter. Here are the reasons. I've got some pretty deep knowledge of what's going on with the subcommittee, with accountability office and internal audit. I helped hire Sam. I got probably more knowledge than anybody around here right now. Let me make some points because I'm concerned of the issue. I'm going to say one thing. Nothing I'm about to say has anything about this man. I have no questions about that. It's just I'm about the future. While throughout the charter, it talks about the importance of independence, and that's my main concern is independence of Sam and Sam's office. She needs to be able to act independently without any interference with management. She works, per the Attorney General's opinion, works for this board. And we direct all that to her. In the past, we had, there is an Office of Educational Accountability that is set by state law that is vacant right now. Internal audit has always reported to that position.
Mr. Jacob,
Excuse me?
can you speak into your microphone?
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I do have a low voice.
Is that better, Ms.?
Is that better?
Dr. Bear?
Is that better? Great, okay. So, anyway, we have not filled that position, and by state law, we're required to. I won't go into that. There wasn't much debate during the summer about internal audit and the charter, and we'd finally decided we need to ask the Attorney General and got an opinion that, yes, this board, have overview and it reports to us. The charter that is written speaks about the importance of independence and the IA.
The international internal audit standard,
Right.
yes, sir.
But it also, in the past, there's our organizational chart, there's a dotted line between internal audit, accountability, and the superintendent. What this charter does is kind of makes that a solid line because internal Sam now effectively reports to the superintendent. And here's where I have a problem there is by who is her boss? Is it the superintendent or is it the board? And some of the language in here makes that a real question. Let's see. There's a part in there, you'll see on, we're not handing out the charter, that's too bad, because I think the board needs to see it. On page 5 of the charter about, is it on there? Okay, all right. On page 5 of the charter, it states that the audit director may meet with the board, including, let me get the actual words here. The director may meet directly with the SBE subcommittee or the full State Board of Education, including an executive session when approved by the state superintendent or state board chair to discuss matters affecting audit independence or significant risk. My request at the meeting was that we change the wording there to say when approved by the SBE chair first or the state superintendent. As it's written here, it suggests she goes straight to state superintendent to see if she can speak to the subcommittee. I think she needs to be able to speak to any member of this board subcommittee when she feels there's a need, not to get permission to do that. I asked to change that, and it was not. We need to, right, let me go back. The charter repeatedly references independence and the need for free of independence and activity. But going back to what I just said about asking permission by the state board and to meet, there's another issue there that requires the director meet directly with subcommittee or full board, including the. Let me read my notes here just a second. All right, excuse me. Let me go back on that same page 5, that says that she shall provide regular updates to the state superintendent, the SBE, or its subcommittee. Regular reports are due. Here again, I think we need to change that to say that she has approval of the state superintendent should be third in line on that wording. It says shall report regular to the state superintendent, the SBE, and its subcommittee. I think we need to change that to the SBE, its subcommittee, or the state superintendent being third in line. So again, it tells her she has to go to the state superintendent for all
Bill,
these.
where are you? I'm trying to find it on here. You on page 5?
Page 5.
Under which head?
So it's under the charter, Mayor. It's got to go all the way down. and it's-
Underneath
it's A-
communication with SBE, the last paragraph.
Charter itself, it's going to be page 14 on your.
Yeah, page
Ah,
14.
okay,
on
that's
that.
why
Page
that's,
5 on the charter itself.
I gotcha. Page 14, thank you, that's where
And let me just reread that because I'm getting this mixed up a little bit. Under that line, it says, "The director may meet directly with the SBE subcommittee or full SBE, including executives in the executive session when approved by the state superintendent or SBE chair." I've already said this, I've got the wrong line. My word there was we may need to swap the wording to be approved by the SBE chair or the state superintendent. That allows her to go, if she has an issue to go to Matt and say, I've got a problem. And so Matt can say, okay, you can meet with us. Not have to go to him. If she has to go to him first, which it suggests, then her independence is questioned, is what I'm saying. So let's reword this to do, because it is vital that he isn't left out of the loop. He has to be part of this loop. When Mike Kent brought up to Ronnie and I in 2004 the issues he had found as interim superintendent that were pushing Sonia to the side, and we brought to the board. That's where we can see the problems. I've lost my train of thought on that issue. But so we began bringing the board back in line. We then began this seems to take it back into where we were there. Another issue I have is we need to have, each board member here should be able to speak with Sam if they feel they need to without permission. Currently, they have to get permission. Any one of us have to get permission. I tried to meet with Sam back in April, March maybe, to discuss some changes she was making to how we're doing subrecipients. Sonia had a very intense program that she had put together, how they keep track of all that. Sam has upgraded that. I had pretty good knowledge of what Sonia used to do. I wanted to see it. So we had a meeting set up in her office. My drive up here, I find out that we have to move it because so many people all of a sudden were invited. And I asked Sam, how did everybody find it? I said, well, we have to share who else whenever there's a meeting of board members. I said, that's not right. What if I had a private thing I wanted to talk about? And I just covered that. Well, any one of us need to be in a position that we can chat with her. This charter doesn't say that. Or it sort of says it, but also sort of says something else. My last piece to all this, I said,
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I can't hear anything you're saying.
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Is that better?
bars a little bit.
Okay, all right. Sorry. My last piece of this, the history of here, is that in 2017, this board made the decision to do what we have been doing of having, following state law with internal audit, reporting to accountability, to keep that independence intact. The reason they did that was because of a letter from then State Auditor Stacy Pickering criticizing the lack of appropriate oversight and appropriate by the state board. In the letter, and he said that we need to change that. So the board did that. In that letter, and I'll quote, this is Stacy Pickering, lack of appropriate oversight and appropriate tone at the top leadership can lead to fraud, waste, and abuse. That was his point of combining this into a board-only piece and following that. This charter, while it says we're going to do that, really doesn't, in my view, and I think we need to adjust it. And my position is we move to ask the subcommittee to relook at this charter before they bring it back to us.
Does anyone else have any comments? Because I have some I'm going to make before, but I want to let everybody else say whatever piece they want. Mr. Mayo, do you have any comments?
No, again, we passed this out. We think that it's set up as appropriate by law under the Attorney General's opinion. There's at no point been very open. Anybody that needs to talk to Sam can, and that's whether that's employee, board member, superintendent, her role is that watchdog role. We've been trying to find exactly the paragraph we're talking about. I'm struggling to put my hands on it, but I think it deals with a specific topic of when that they want that permission type thing. But the intent, without question, is that any board member, any administrator, any employee, any whistleblower to reach out to the auditor so necessary. And so I think we vetted this and solved it already.
Thank you. First, I want to say thank you to Mr. Mayo, Mr. Jacobs, Sam, and that committee. Y'all put a lot of work. Mr. Jacobs, I know this is an issue that's very near and dear to your heart. You put a lot of work in studying it, and I appreciate your efforts in doing so. From my perspective on this, I appreciate and respect Mr. Jacobs' opinions. I disagree with him for these reasons. This audit charter has been the focus of especially Sam, getting it in line with where it was. The biggest portion of this thing is it was outdated. Setting aside the reporting issue, this charter needed to be fixed to allow them to move forward. Secondly, as I appreciate this charter, it makes it extremely clear about the independence of the internal auditor. And this is, you made an excellent point in your statement. This isn't about you, this isn't about me, this isn't about Mr. Jacobs. This is about putting a foundation in place when we're all gone, that things go forward the correct way. As I read and appreciate this charter as well as Mississippi law, and again, I am a lawyer, but not y'all's lawyer. She's your lawyer. But I can't ever take my lawyer hat off. The focus of this is that the internal auditor has independence. As I appreciate state law, it does not require the state auditor to be under the position that Sonia formerly held. It is supposed to be independent. This creates that independence. The dual reporting requirement to the board and to the superintendent is vital. The biggest thing that we have to understand and appreciate is that whoever we put in the position of internal audit, we have to trust her or his judgment. If there is an issue that is brought to the internal auditor that directly affects some of the state superintendent, and again, I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about positions, we have to trust that that internal auditor has the objectivity and the discretion that she or he is going to report either to the chair or the head of the subcommittee with that issue. Likewise, if there is an issue that she becomes aware of that involves the chair or another board member, we have to trust that that auditor is going to report that to the right person. It is also vitally important that both the board and the state superintendent know about any issues going on for multiple reasons. Because it's not to hide these. The sunlight is going to be shown on them, but it is to identify them and most importantly, fix them. We cannot, if there is an issue with this department, we cannot fix it without the superintendent's help. Period. That has to happen. And finally, the last thing to say about reporting. I think the way it is set up to where it is first reported to the subcommittee or the chair and the superintendent, we need that to where there is a chain of command with the way things happen. You know, every board member absolutely will have, if they feel they need to speak with the auditor about an issue, absolutely. But they can't do that on their own. No board member acts as a separate person. We are all one board. We have no personal, if we have a personal agenda, it doesn't happen here. So, and this ain't about me being here, it's about whoever's in this position. If there is an issue that a board member has, it makes sense that the chair should know about it. Okay? And then go talk to the internal auditor. But keep everybody in the loop, keep the committee in the loop because they're in charge of it. So, and as I appreciate this covers all of that. It does not limit, it provides no limitations of any of those things. So, you know, this thing has been vetted for 6 months. The committee has worked extremely hard. Sam has worked extremely hard. It is time to put this up for a vote and move on, in my opinion.
Now, I make one more motion, Matt, one more comment, and that is the specific provision, I finally ran it down, is talking about getting on the agenda and presenting to the board as a whole, not individual conversations or reporting that may be necessary, but specifically about communication with the SPE as a board, which one of us is going to have to put it on the agenda. So that's just to speak to that point. So with that said, I move we approve the presented.
Do I have a second? Second. Ms. Ward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Again, I appreciate everybody's hard work on this. This has been a long time coming, and I'm glad we're able to move the ball forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is the several educator and residence grants. The first one is an educator and residence state systemic implementation plan grant.
I got it. Good morning, Chairman Miller, Dr. Evans, and members of the board. I actually have two different grants that I'm bringing forth today. The first, as Mr. Miller mentioned, is a grant for general supervision assistant director in the Office of Special Education. It is a grant for $338,000 and some change over 2 years and 2 months. We'll finish out this fiscal year, and the 2 years will be fiscal year 27 and 28. The EIR is hired to assist the department, particularly the Office of Special Education, in ensuring that general supervision of districts' use of IDEA funds are appropriate, as well as the districts are ensuring FAPE, which is the free appropriate public education for students with disabilities. We ran this grant competitively, and the funds will be awarded annually based on the Office of Special Education Federal Fiscal Grant Awards.
Okay, so any questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve item, I lost my place.
12A.
Tab 1 under the award, educator and resident state systemic
12-1.
implementation plan grant.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Warder. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Very good.
Thank you. The second grant is for a little under, a little over $2 million, right under 2.2. This is a grant it's a 5-year grant. This money will allow us to employ 5 coaches for our early learning collaboratives, as well as our state-invested pre-K programs throughout the state. These folks will be in those programs assisting teachers, administrators in running the program based on state standards for those programs. Again, with this one, we ran a competitive process. Funds are awarded annually based on legislative appropriation.
We approve.
Thank you, Ms. Swinton. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Board members, we need to be able to hear or visualize your votes in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. So I only heard Ms. Warner and I believe Wendy and Mr. East.
I don't know if I did that.
Yeah, if you want to just flip your hand, that'd be great.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you.
All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts. Ms. Wiggins.
Morning. So we've got 5 contracts. The first contract is to award to the Rankin County School District to provide services to the Mississippi Department of Education for the Decide to Succeed training facility. And this is a 10-day training to support cafeteria managers across our state. This is a 5-year contract at a total award of $183,000. This was a competitively bid contract. So, yes, so this, in Rankin County, had the lowest quote.
Could you explain exactly what this is about?
Yes. So each year, in the Office of Child Nutrition, they provide training to cafeteria workers across our state.
What kind of training?
Food preparation, they have Mississippi recipes that they create, food preparation, and, kitchen management, those kinds of things. And that helps them to meet the requirement of the ServSafe qualifications that each cafeteria manager has to have.
Thank you.
Sure.
I have the same question, and they also have to have it in a cafeteria.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. And they also have to have it in the cafeteria. That's why it's in a school district, because they have to have access to the.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fine.
So moved.
Well, let's do all the contracts at one time.
Apologize, thank you.
So the second contract is for Quadient to provide services to MDE for mailing equipment. This agreement includes the rental of the postage equipment and all applicable software for processing and tracking our mail. This, again, is a 5-year contract at $105,884.40.
Any questions about this contract?
The next contract is an approval of an agreement for interim superintendent services for the Noxubee County School District, an employment agreement for Dr. Washington Cole. It's a 1-year agreement with a total amount of $187,000. Questions? Okay. The next one is also an approval of the employment agreement for Dr. Earl Watkins to serve as interim superintendent for the Yazoo Municipal School District. It, again, is a 1-year contract at a total value of $183,500. The last one is, again, approval of an employment agreement for Dr. Stanley K. Ellis to continue to serve as interim superintendent of Humphreys County School District. 1-year contract, 1-year agreement at a total value of $162,000. Okay. The next one is a modification to an existing contract with the East Mississippi Center for Education Development. This contract includes a request for an increase of $1.2 million. It is a 4-year contract. This increase covers the cost of the increases in fringe and benefits associated with the positions Workforce Development Director and Future Farmers of America services. East Mississippi serves as the fiscal agent for our agency. And just to note, the personnel associated with this contract are not former department employees or related to any other department employees. That's my last one.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve items 3A, B, C, D, E, and F?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Ms. Gordon, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. All right, then our consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve items 4A through T?
So moved. Wendy beat me.
Yes. Dr. Barrett on the motion, Mr. Mayo on the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, do we have a motion for consideration of an executive session?
I move the board consider making a closed determination of the need to go into executive session.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
How are you?
The board has voted unanimously to go into executive session for a strategy session or negotiations with regards to prospective litigation involving the MDE or the issuance of an appealable order related to litigation involving McKinney versus MSMS and Wilson versus SBE in accordance with Mississippi Code annotated 254174B, as well as for discussion of discrete personnel matters regarding the employment of the interim superintendent in the Wilkinson County School District, a district of transformation, in accordance with Mississippi Code annotated section 254174A and K.
So the good tell me is they can call insurance agent, make sure their insurance is up, right?
Can I proceed?
Crazy.
Okay. Does anybody need to report on any meetings they attended? Does anybody need any approval to attend any meetings? All right, then, do we have any other business we need to discuss?
And our next meeting will be,
Hang on, I'm getting there. The May board meeting will be held on May 21st, here in the Central High School building, in the boardroom, starting at 10 a.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good work, everybody. Thank you.